convocation. We now invite our respected chief guest, Dr. S. Somanath, distinguished scientist, former Secretary, Department of Space, and Chairman, Indian Space Research Organization, Bangalore, for the convocation address.
Good evening, all of you. Honorable Patron Trustee, Ms. Tina Anil Ambani, members of the Trust, Director, Deans, Head of the Department, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, recipients of the degree and the academic awards, all the students here, their parents, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you once again. I think it's quite late, right? And you don't want to be pumped in with a convocation speech of long advices, etc. from me, I believe. In fact, what I wanted to speak is already been told by Ms. Anbani, the advices which are needed at the moment of your graduation day. I think it's already delivered, so what I thought is I won't speak from my prepared speech at all. So I can keep it there. First and foremost, I must congratulate each one of you for being graduated today. Congratulations once again from me personally for such a momentous occasion in your life, I believe. Please rejoice it, enjoy it tonight, and that's something that we need to do. And equally important is to say thanks to your parents who are there, maybe on other side of the wall, who are listening, hearing you, seeing the receiving those awards. Congratulations to them as well for bringing up wonderful children and seeing them graduating here from this prestigious university today. Thank you for being there with them throughout their journey, and I will also advise you to take a moment to bring the thought about them in your mind and thank from your depth of your heart. It's important when you receive your degrees for thanking not only your parents and all those people who are reasons for you to be here today. Your teachers, your mentors, your gurus of whatever nature. I think thank them from your depth of your heart. And for the university, it's always a pride moment for them to see this happening as a graduating ceremony. It's not a formal function for the university. It's an important event for the university to organize this, to see all of you today, to be graduates, to be connected to this university later as alumni. And I will tell you that's very important for you to be connected to your universities from where you studied, your schools, your graduating colleges, your professional degree providing universities, wherever it is. You must get connected later, a part of your life. It's very important because you will realize its value very late. And I have seen it from my experience, those who graduate today. I'm guaranteeing that you for next 10 years, you will never ever come here because you will always say, I don't want to go there. But you will realize that importance of connect only much later in life. But if you can connect it early, it's really going to be great, wonderful. Please make a mark in your mind to get connected to university. I thought the convocation speech should be about me because I am here as a guest. No, I have the privilege of speaking about myself. From the life experience of Madam, I think she has talked about very important lessons that need to be learned while you go through your journey of life. For me as well, it has been a fantastic journey. I laid down my office as the Chairman, ISRO, Secretary of Department of Space a few days back. When I look back in my life as a young engineering graduate who was recruited in ISRO, much before the degree was announced, they came to the campus and recruited us in my 7th semester, looking at my academic records. So I was offered the position as an engineer. But when I joined ISRO, it was to my great surprise that I realized that whatever I learned in the college was of no use in that institution. No, it's important for you to realize this. some of you would have already been in some jobs or the other. I am very sure about it. And you would be already seeing the shock of the life of, of how a graduate degree or a postgraduate degree won't really help you to handle the challenges in an institution of this nature. But then for us, there was no course after joining in the organization. No, we learned in a form of a Gurukula system. We attached ourselves with some great mentors in the organization. And they were great teachers. They will take you to places. They will offer you, positions or challenges or tasks which you will find, wonder, how will I ever accomplish this? And many people won't survive this type of test of time in organizations of industries or establishments where you come and join. To be noted, to become a leader, you will find it extremely challenging for you because you are not equipped with the tools which are needed for industry to survive. And what is needed today at this moment is to find how to collaborate with people. You will understand it very, very early in your life. It is really going to be life-changing. If you really want to make use of your excellence as a person, an individual, and trying to excel in the organization, it won't take you long. You will find it miserable to survive. But if you can create a set of people who likes you, love you, who takes your views, you will be happy to be with you. You will see that you will be able to survive in the organization much better, happily, and also contribute effectively. This is something which I learned. Very early part of my career in the organization ISRO, I really created a team of people who will travel with me, who will understand my views and vision, and then take it into their problems and their solutions. They will come out of it. And they will stand with me for whatever I want to do. And this will be noted by organizations of any type of organization. They will note you. Who is that person who is able to move people in an organization much better? And I can tell you, you need to work with people in much better than you work with your knowledge and technology. It's important. I'll also tell you a very important lesson that I learned later, that you may be an expert in some domain. You need to learn and put effort in that domain to make some mark in that domain. But again, you will see that the career is such a way that you won't take you to farther your career in that type of approaches. Of course, you need to work very hard in one domain to make some mark, contributing technologically or effectively in some domain. But if you really want to make an impact in what ultimately the organization do, you need to understand the purpose of what you are doing. And this is very difficult for people to understand. Many a times people have come and asked me, we were designing a rocket called PSLV. But then many of the young engineers who joined little later, I was already 5-6 years into the organization. At that time, young people were coming and joining me to work with my team. Then they were asking, where is PSLV? I am not seeing PSLV anywhere here. People were wondering what exactly I am doing, which makes the part of the whole of the PSLV. Many people can't even see it. They will be starting designing some small things, some small work, some small tasks, and you can't see the big picture. The big pictures are always seen by very select few. And this is very important. Who actually sees a bigger picture? And what is needed for you to see the bigger picture? And this is always very important in organizations or institutions where you go, how to see the bigger picture than what many a times you do small things. And you will be struggling many a times. You will see somebody is firing you, somebody is criticizing you, and all that around you to still see the bigger picture and work towards that goal. That is very important. And once you are able to do that, people will again notice you to put you at a higher pedestal. And this is by becoming different than the flock. Tinaji has already mentioned about it, how to not to be follower, but you are a leader, you need to see a bigger picture. And this bigger pictures, of course, many stories you would have heard in management books. I don't want to repeat those lectures. But in whichever domain that you go, seeing the bigger picture is very, very important. Equally important is to widen your horizons. You may be an expert. I started talking about it. Being expertise in any domain is very important for you. Suppose you are in a technology organization, you may be in research organization, sometimes you may be in a business organization. But your domain of expertise is important. But then equally important is to appreciate others, because each one tries to be an expert in that domain. And many a times I have seen people who think that my domain is the best of the domain available in the whole of this. And he will always talk about it as an important domain, but never ever appreciating others who do an equally amount of important and critical work for the organization. And people love you if you appreciate others. Equally important is that you need to be very proud of what you are, your capabilities, skills, etc. But People like those people who think that they respect others' skills. Develop that skill while you remain very dominant in your domain, but equally important is to appreciate others. And they will come for your help whenever you need it. And this is again another very important lesson which I learned with my work. And today, though I am a mechanical engineer by training, I learned aerospace engineering after studying in the Institute of Science. I understood large spectrum of the work which is needed to create rockets, spacecrafts, etc. Today, I can tell you that I can design a rocket myself, but of course, I can't do it all alone. You need a big team to do that. But I understand what is needed to do that. To have this knowledge, you need to understand large spectrum of work which is needed, the interconnection between many things. Many a time, you will see complex systems are made by people who have a vision. But they know always who are the right type of people to be assembled today to do that work. And this is a classic case of Dhirubhai Ambani. He envisioned a dream and he was able to bring people together to do that big dream. He doesn't have to do it alone. People will flock around you when you have the bigger dream. And you know who are the right type of people to be picked to do that job. And this is again another important quality you need to develop. You need to understand who is the right type of person who will do that task for you. For that, you need to measure him, whether you need to understand him. To understand that, you need to have the knowledge of that domain, little bit. Not always very deeper, but at least certain level of knowledge is needed to understand what that fellow means to you. Of course, that you need to be extremely ambitious. Sometimes people feel extremely ambitious is a bad thing or a good thing. Many a times you will show around that I am very extremely ambitious. To be extremely ambitious and not to show around is also another quality. Can you do with that? But many people don't know how to do that. Extremely ambitious means you are preparing for an opportunity. As already been told, I want only expand what Inaji told just a moment. Opportunities will come and knock you on your door. Then the question is, are you prepared to accept the opportunity? And if you have to prepare yourself to accept it, you need to be ready with the skills that are needed to accept that opportunity. This is again, I can tell you that when I was working in PSLV project, there was a challenge given to me that I need to launch a commercial satellite for a foreign country. We were launching only Indian satellites till that time. I was working in PSLV, so there came a 100 kilogram small satellite is to be launched in PSLV. How do we really put one satellite along with another satellite? Nobody had an idea there, how to put. And we need to put it along with it and launch it. Then I came out with an idea, concept. I came an engineering design layout. I need a design a separation system and came out with that concept. Many people didn't like it in the organization, but there was my mentor, Mr. Ramakrishnan, who was a project director. He liked the idea. He took it forward. And after that successful thing, he created an entity in the project called vehicle engineering. Vehicle engineering is a team which will do the architecture of the rocket. And then later, after that work, which was still my younger age, but then nowhere this terminology was used in the organization. But later we changed that terminology from vehicle engineering to system engineering. Now, you know, system engineering is a very well-known terminology which is used in domains or parlance of all engineering systems, where multi-domain expertise come together to create a product where many domains of knowledge will come into it. So we created an organization, team in the project team to create system engineering. And I was the first ever system engineer in that launch vehicle project teams ever created. So I had the opportunity to do multi-domain system engineering for future after doing this work. And I had the opportunity to write the project report of the GSLV Mark III rocket, which you know is the one which is going to send the human beings to space, and also to become the first project director to launch it successfully. All these opportunities came to me because I was preparing myself to handle such tasks early on. So I was only a mechanical engineer. I need to study propulsion. I need to study thermal engineering. I need to study software. I need to understand guidance and control. I need to understand structural mechanics. I need to understand electronics. I need to understand signal processing. The domains are so vast, but they are all connected some way or the other. I may be a good designer in some domain, but I can understand others. When they speak that language of that domain, whether you are able to follow. For example, when you become you may be a good scientist, but can you understand the language of economics? Can you understand the language of a lawyer? I had to write the policy, the space policy of 2023. When I became the chairman, I had to draft the space policy. When you write a space policy, an engineering knowledge won't help you. Only what will help you is maybe a legal understanding or a business understanding will help you. I had to work with private entrepreneurs to develop the skill sets in them. And here we need to work on the job of technology transfer. When I worked with international agencies in space, I need to talk the language that an international engagement, where you will use the right type of the conversation or languages that are particular to dealing with such situations. And all this will come when you are a good observant of what is happening around it. And I tell you that today the challenges for you in graduating from these institutions are much more than what it happened to me in my lifetime. The engineering domain or science domain is changing so rapidly, especially your domain of ICT. When I studied mechanical engineering, the syllabus in mechanical engineering was almost 20 years old and stagnant. It was not changing. No, mechanical engineering had steam engines, IC engines, material science, turbo machinery, gas turbine, so many subjects we study. But it more or less remains same. But for you, the domain of communication technologies, electronics is changing very rapidly. Every 2 years, I believe, maybe even 1 year, you will have changes that will occur so fast that you need to update yourself. You will become irrelevant if you don't study on a regular basis. And you will see that in industries, when you go, your skill sets will become much weaker with years pass by. When young people join, you will find that they are much more knowledgeable than you. And you will feel threatened in the organization. So you need to study much better than that I used to do in my younger days. So the challenges today for the new generation is much more complex than it used to be. So it requires two skills. One, to forget what all you studied earlier. Okay. So develop that skill of getting rid of all those unwanted things and ability to grasp the new things that is happening. It's very important for you to survive in the industry. And equally important is to understand the connection of all these changes to the society. Because ultimately, if you are to really make a case for what the technology is, technology cannot remain it just for technology. It has to be connected to the society, application, business, economy, everything. This connect is to be understood by people, then only you can make a best out of what you studied. For example, you understand about AI. The impact of AI in the society is so huge. Somebody was speaking about it today. I don't know how many of you are really fathomed the depth of this understanding. And I don't know how many of you read a book on AI recently. Not the technology of AI, impact of AI on society. Anyone has read? I want you to read all of this. Because just knowing AI is not enough. I think the impact of AI on society is important. How many of you are ready to read the Nexus, the book Nexus, which was written by, who wrote that? Right. I think you heard that. Mr. Harari's books, I think any one of you have read in your life about the Homo sapiens. Yeah, I think he has written recently a book on AI and its impact on society. I had the opportunity to listen to his talk when he was much before this book was released. He was giving a talk on AI and its impact on society in one of the International Astronautical Federation meetings. He was invited there to give a lecture on this. Why he was telling is this AI is nothing but an alien intelligence. No, he used AI is not artificial intelligence, it's an alien intelligence. And it is such a powerful thing that if you are not careful enough, in next 25 years, it will overtake your intelligence. And you will not even realize that you are being driven by this AI somewhere hidden, like the Matrix, you would have seen in movie, that some other intelligence is driving all the events that are happening here. So I will also tell you that you must develop a very good capability to read the contemporary literature, the contemporary science, and its impact of whatever you do with the society. Because ultimately, we people live in a society, and if you are not connected to it through all these knowledges that are coming, then you will never be able to do wonderfully well in society. I won't prolong my lecture today in the convocation speech. It's a great day for each one of you to please rejoice it. And also understand that you are one of the top notch of the society. Especially in the society which has an opportunity to learn and excel, I think you are reached at the top level of, and you may belong to less than 0.1% of this country, cream of this country. You are. And you have a great opportunity to contribute back. And once you are in that position, you need to make use of that advantage that you're getting today to further your possibilities in life and also to contribute to this nation. I think ultimately this is very, very important. For everyone who takes a degree from this country, one of the institutions of this country has a responsibility to contribute back to this nation in whatever way you think. Could be in the way of your wonderful work that you do for an industry here or institution here, or you bring back your wealth back to this country or knowledge back to this country at some point in time. Many of you may travel world over and make great life outside, I am very sure about it. But make a word today to give it back to my nation. I think if you do that, I will be very happy and proud about you. And let me wish once again all the very best to your great journey ahead, and let God bless you in your journey further, and wish you all the very best. And thank you so much for this opportunity to invite me to this university to see this and understand it. Great. And I had an opportunity to discuss with and share my views with the faculty, and I'm sure that whatever we do in ISRO is something very pride thing for us, and we continue to excel in this domain with the knowledge and skill harnessed from people like you from this country. And one of the graduates who was coming here and receiving the certificate told me, you want to work for ISRO. I think it's so much happy to hear that. I think many of you may be desirous of having such a possibility. I welcome you to join ISRO as well, whenever there is a possibility. Thank you so much. Wish you all the very best. Good night.